Hey guys, welcome to the 7th video of the Sitemap crawler project series. In this video, I'll just copy and paste a couple of user agents. So we had a few user agents, but we'll add just a few more. So now you have a couple more user agents. Awesome. And I'll post this project on GitHub soon, and you can just copy and paste this. I mean, you don't have to really type these on your own, right? You can just copy and paste these from my GitHub project. Now, I recommend that even when you get access to the GitHub project, don't just copy and paste this code somewhere in your program and just get away with it. I mean, watch these videos, build this along with me if you want to really understand how all this works, and only then start using this code in your other programs, okay? Don't try to rush, because if your foundations are not strong, you'll get into trouble. So the only function that we're left with now, I think, is the crawl page function. So in the last video, you saw that we were having a scrape URL function, and every single of those coroutines were going to basically calling a scrape page function, which is this scrape page function. Now, for the scrape page to happen, as in for that every single page to get scraped, for that to happen, you need to first crawl and make request to that URL, right? And once you get the data back, that's when you basically arrange that data into SEO data, and that's where you use get SEO data. Okay, but first you need to crawl that page. You need to make a request to that page, and you need to crawl that page. So to be able to do that, what we're going to do is one thing that I think is remaining here somewhere is that crawl page needs to take two things, right? So when you are in your scrape URLs page and then you are in your scrape page, so the crawl page takes the URL as well as the token, takes two things. Okay, so make that small change there. And for your crawl page function, what you'll do is you'll say that it takes a URL, which is string, takes tokens, which is general struct, and returns HTTP dot response and error. Or error, I meant. So here you'll say tokens struct, and what's basically happening here is that for every single of those URLs, you're basically making a request. That's all you're doing. And how do you make a request? You make a request using the make request function that we have already created somewhere here. Make request has to be there. Yeah, this one, which basically creates a get request. That's all it does, nothing else. And it uses a random user agent, which we have just created, the entire list of user agents. It uses that to make lists simultaneously to not hit into the network request, so that Google doesn't think that all the requests are coming from one place. Google or any other website, right? So you're in crawl page, and what you get back from this function, you want to capture that in a variable called response, or this function could return an error, so that's what we also want to capture there. Okay. Now you want to check for the error. So if error is not equal to nil, you want to say return nil error, and you want to return, if everything goes well, you want to return the response of the error. Okay, so this was it. Actually, this was the entire function. That's all we have to do. Now I'm pretty sure that I must have missed a few things here and there, so what I'll do is I'll just go over the entire code quickly, and I'll help you in case you have made those mistakes with me. I'll help you figure out those mistakes, and then we'll run the program, and then we'll find many more mistakes and we'll fix them together, okay? A couple of small issues that I found was that in some places I've written work list with W capital. That's going to lead to some issues, right? So just for being consistent, W needs to be small everywhere for work list. And let me just search if I have the work list with W capital anymore. It's not there. Okay, so perfect. The other issue that I found was that scrape URL is the wrong function. It should have been scrape URLs, like capital, right, with small s after that. So I'll make sure it's like that. It's scrape URLs. And for the extract sitemap URLs function, there needs to be one more bracket that's closed, because we have a bracket open for gofunc, bracket open for this for loop out here, and for this for loop and for the main function. So we need to have one more bracket needs to be closed out here. In the scrape URLs function, the most important thing we have left out by mistake, which is returning the results that we created. The results that needs to be returned from this function, which is SEO data slice, right? It needs to be returned. One more small issue is that this variable name had to be LOC, not LOCA, in the extract URLs function. And your scrape page function needs to have taken, let me show you, it needs to accept tokens as well. So let's go back to our scrape page function and accept the token. So here we'll say token, sorry, small token, join struct, parser. Now there are three things that I want you to do quickly. One is that in the sitemap function, there had to be an if here, right? Because if found sitemap is double equal to true, then you'll do this. And in the extract sitemap URL function for gofunc, it's actually a function, and then this is the function definition out here. And you can go to your terminal also and run go mod tidy command, because we already have a go mod file. So just go ahead and run the go mod tidy command, because then you will get access to this package, go query package. And just do these three things quickly, and I'll show you a couple of more issues that I've found. Sorry, here at the end you'll have to add those brackets. Yeah, so actually I want to show you the issue I found here, that the parser needs to have capital P. I'll tell you why, because in scrape URLs you're defining that parser is the variable that you're passing, but parser is the struct. So that's why you need the parser to have capital P. And here this SEO data is the same as this SEO data, right? So there has to be capital S here. There are still a couple of inconsistencies. So one is this doc that we've been using till now, is doc with a small doc. That's what we want out here as well. And here the bracket needs to close here, not here. And then what I found with this extract sitemap URLs function is not the same as the one that we've defined. So what we'll do is extract sitemap, right? Whereas the one that we have defined is with capital M. Makes sense? So what you want to do is you want to just copy this name, just copy this, and you want to paste it there out here. So that's the same function. Make sense? Similarly with scrape sitemap function, right? There is a scrape sitemap function somewhere and it's not been defined properly. So let me find it. Scrape sitemap. Yeah, so this function, the M had to be capital because we're calling this function. Awesome. So one thing that I just missed was this find needs to have a capital F and small ind. And in the extract URLs function, you have to find the extract URLs function. Yeah, here It's not HTTPS, it's HTTP, because that's the package that you've imported on top here, HTTP package, right? That's the one that we're using. So now, I've gone through the code, and these are all the issues that I found. So now what we'll do is we'll try running the code. So after fixing all those issues, I found a couple more, and I fixed all of them, and I will be leaving the link to this project, the GitHub link to this project, in the description, so that you can just compare and fix those quickly. And what we'll be doing now, the main thing is that I want to show you how the program will work. So what you'll do is you'll say go run main.go. And it takes quite a while, because remember, the Quicksprout website has all of these different sitemaps, or all of these different links listed on their sitemap. And now you can see it's requesting every single of those URLs, which are every single page that exists on the Quicksprout website. And imagine all these hundreds and hundreds of pages. We found all those links, and then we found hundreds of those pages. Then now we're scraping all of those pages, right? So that's what's happening. It will take a while. A few of the pages might even return errors. It might have errors scraping those pages, and that's totally fine. It doesn't completely break our program because it's all happening concurrently. So some of the even if some of the pages say there's an error, all the others will return the perfect result that we want. So now I'm just going to sit and wait, and what I can do is I can probably switch off the video, and then I can turn it back on when my program is done processing. So here you can see the request has completed, and you're getting all of these different pages. This is the actual content on those pages. You can see that, right? Meta description of the URL of those pages, and the request, which was 200. So based on the SEO data struct that we defined, we got all of this result back, right? So as you can see, first it scraped all the URLs. Let me show you one by one. It scraped all of the URLs on the sitemap page after checking if it is a sitemap indeed. Then it checked, started requesting all of these different links that it found on the sitemap, and then after it was done requesting all of this content, it started actually posting or showing us the actual content, which is this. So all these three stages need to be complete in your terminal before you can actually think that the project is complete. So this was a very nice and a very important project, because you can use this code in a lot of different scenarios. If you have any issues, do let me know in the comments below. I'm going to be leaving the link to the project in the description box below, and I think once you've gone through along with me for the entire project, you shouldn't have any issues, I think. But in case you have any issues, put it in the comments below. I'll help you out. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to this channel, because you'll keep coming to witness such awesome content. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next some other series.